Hello everyone, welcome back to Trivia Nights with PD. So I'm here to do the review of the very interesting match that's going to happen, the match one of two today rather. That is between the Sunrisers Hyderabad and the Rajasthan Royals. So now again, if we go to see it, the Sunrisers are at a much better place on the points table as in comparison uh, to the Rajasthan Royals, because right now, if you see, Rajasthan Royals are second last on the table. They've played six matches, out of which they've won only two and they've lost four. Whereas the Sunrisers Hyderabad, they have played six matches, won three and lost three. So this is going to be the seventh match for both the teams. And if SRH wins this match, so they will also be at 8 points. But because of their good net run rate, they will be occupying the fourth slot on the points table, and RCB will be pushed, or rather, they might even reach up to the third spot, which will push KKR down to the fourth spot, and RCB comes down to fifth. Whereas if the Rajasthan Royals wins the match, it's going to kill the dreams for the Hyderabad fans because it's going to really affect them. Because it's going to take a lot for Rajasthan to really make a comeback into the top four of the IPL. Now, before we get into the match or the players or anything of that, I'm going to ask you some interesting questions about the players who are going to be playing the match right now. So here comes question number one. He is the first Indian batsman to score 100 in the IPL, smashing an unbeaten 114 of 73 deliveries against Deccan Chargers to help RCB reach the semi-finals in the year 2009. So I want you to identify this cricketer. So I think some of you would have guessed it. So he is not one of the big names that we hear, a Rohit Sharma or a Virat Kohli, but rather this player that we are talking about is Manish Pandey. And moving on to our second question, he played football at Leeds United for 7 years, rugby for Yorkshire Schools, and hockey for Leeds before ending up playing cricket. So, who is this multi talented sportsman who is now a very famous cricketer? So, I think some of you would have been able to guess because this question is a little out of the blue. So, that is why this player is also a very special player. And the player that we are talking about is Johnny Bairstow. So, that was our questions for the players of the team of Hyderabad. And now it's time to ask some questions for players from the Rajasthan Royals team. So he became the youngest batsman to score 1,000 runs in the IPL, and that was in the year 2017. So who is this player? Who is this youngster who really took the world by storm with his performance in that year's IPL? So yes, that's right. So the player you're thinking about is Sanju Samson. And we all know that because of the COVID, many of the players were not able to practice. There was not much match practice for them. But Sanju Samson has really worked on his fitness, his form, his technique. And that's why he is right now one of the he is batting so very well, and he has been scoring runs at will, and he has really been toying with the bowlers because he is in such good form and such the shots he is playing is with such confidence and elegance that he can really be considered for the Indian squad as well. He has made his debut for India, but I feel he can find a permanent spot in the team. So that was a question. And now for our last question. He is the record holder of England's three fastest ODI tons till date. He achieved this feat against New Zealand, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan. So, who is this player that we are talking about? So, the player that we are talking about is the wicketkeeper for Rajasthan Royals, who is Jos Buttler. So, those were our four questions for you. I hope you found the trivia pretty much interesting. And now I will share with you what I feel about the lineups of the squad and how it's going to go. So, talking about the Sunrisers Hyderabad, now obviously there's nothing that needs to be done at the top order because we know how dangerous David Warner and Johnny Bairstow can get if they actually get going. Now comes the question of one down. So one down, they have generally been sending Manish Pandey one down, but I feel that he should be replaced with Kane Williamson. Now, obviously, after Virat Kohli, if we consider anyone to be one of the best one down batsmen, Kane Williamson has to feature in everyone's list. He is not only the captain of the New Zealand team, but he is a very innovative cricketer, and I feel he is a perfect mix of class and elegance. He doesn't power through his shots, but he just times the ball so sweetly, and I feel if he comes in that one down position, it will give him also a bit of extra time to play, feel the ball, like how it's coming onto the bat, and he'll get enough time to settle in, because once he settles in, even he can do a lot of damage. Now, there's no doubt that Manish Pandey is a good batsman. Rather, I have a fun fact for you. So, not many of you know this, but we always talk about Virat Kohli's fitness, right? How he's one of the most fittest players in the Indian team, how he's motivated the whole team to become a fit squad. But actually, not many people know this, that Manish Pandey has actually beaten Virat Kohli in the yo-yo test. So, there are no doubts about his fielding capabilities or his batting capabilities, but I feel he can be moved around the order a bit because he is a versatile player. He can come out and he can hit those big shots when required, or he can just keep the singles going. So getting him at the two down position would be a good bet, and I feel that it may just strengthen, the top batting lineup for SRH. And moving on to the middle order, well, the middle order of Hyderabad is something which has really proven its mettle, where you have these three young players who have been playing so good, who have been playing so well, such nice cricket. So you have Abhishek Sharma, you have Priyam Garg. We all know that in that match how they both built a partnership and got the win for SRH home, right? And obviously for some back end hitting, you have Abdul Samad, who has turned out to be a very good bet, and it's really good to see all these franchises really backing the young Indian talent. And it's a two-way street, because even these youngsters are making the most of every opportunity that is coming their way, and that is what is great about it. And so I feel the middle order is pretty much strong, so there's no issues there. Now, when it comes to the bowling attack, so in the bowling attack, they have very good bowlers. Like, come on, Rashid Khan. According to me, he is going to be the game changer for today's match, because he's just so versatile. He can come and bat also down the order, and his deliveries are just spot on. He is the wicket taker for SRH, so he's someone to look out for. But when we're talking about the pace attack, because Mitchell Marsh has gone due to injury and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is also out of the tournament due to injury, it's kind of a setback for the Sunrisers Hyderabad, because they could have really been leading the attack, and that would have really made a difference to the team. But what I was talking about, the young Indian talent, so Natarajan, who has come. So another fun fact, Natarajan has bowled the most number of Yorkers as in comparison to any bowler in this year's IPL. So he has found some form, and he is a consistent bowler. So that is a really good thing. But like, they have tried Siddharth Kaul, they've tried Sandeep Sharma, they've tried Khalil Ahmed. Now Khalil Ahmed, obviously he has some experience, he's played for the Indian team as well. So keeping him in the team really makes sense. But there is one person who is still warming the bench, who I feel should be there in the playing 11 at least for today. So the player that I'm talking about is Basil Thampi. So I feel instead of a Sandeep Sharma or someone, they can just try to get Basil Thampi in, because he's a tall, strong guy. He can bowl those fast-paced balls. He can bowl some nice bouncers as well. And I feel since none of the batsmen have really played him in this IPL yet, he can be a surprise package, and maybe if he clicks form, then you will have a solid bowling attack for SRH as well. So that is it when it comes to the Hyderabad team. Now moving on to the Rajasthan Royals. Well, the Rajasthan Royals, when they started this tournament, they started with a bang. Rather, it was Delhi and them were ruling the table with their first two matches. Both matches they had won, and everyone thought that these two teams are not going to drop out from the top four. Delhi has still maintained that winning streak, but I think Rajasthan struggled a bit throughout the middle of this tournament. Now, another one thing was David Miller. He played the first match, unfortunately wasn't able to contribute enough. and then he has been benched. Now, David Miller is a very, very experienced player. So when he comes into the squad, it's not only his batting capabilities that he's bringing in, but also the amount of experience, in terms of helping to set the field, in terms of, probably knowing what is the weakness of a particular batsman, so helping the bowlers in that way. And he won't be able to contribute much when he's on the bench. So I feel that he can be considered to be got back into the squad. Talking about the spinner, so Rajasthan's spin attack is spearheaded by Shreyas Gopal, who no doubt is a very talented youngster and has been bowling well, has been bowling consistently. But there is a special package who is still there on the bench, and that is Mayank Markande. Now, Mayank Markande, in the previous year's IPL, when he was with the Mumbai Indians, we all know what sort of damage he had done. It's very difficult to read how he's bowling, and because his action is a little orthodox, so it's even more difficult to really gauge whether it's a leg spin or whether it's a leg cutter or it's a googly. So it's I feel he should get a chance at least in the squad, because they already have Rahul Tewatia, who's a part-time bowler. They have Mahipal Lomror, who's a part-time bowler. So they have some spinners in the team. So I think it's worth the risk. And obviously now Rajasthan are waiting for the next best thing to come in, and that is Ben Stokes. So it'll be really exciting to see when he gets to join the squad, because it'll be really, really awesome. Talking about Yashasvi Jaiswal, very talented youngster. I mean, he was the opening batsman for India under-19 as well. But I feel he has struggled a little in the IPL, because it's a different ball game altogether. When you're facing such great bowlers like Trent Bolt or Jasprit Bumrah or Sheldon Cottrell. So I feel he's not yet able to get into the flow of it, but I feel I really like the fact that the Rajasthan team is backing him, and even though in his first match he couldn't score, in the second match he has scored, I guess, at a run rate of about 90 to 95. So it's good that they're backing him, and hopefully he can pick up some form. Talking about Joss Butler, well, no words would be enough for his talent, because he is supremely talented. But I feel that yes, there is a big innings coming his way also, and he is going to make the most of it. Talking about Tom Curran. Now, Tom Curran has been used predominantly as a bowler, or even if he's used as a batsman, he's way down the order. But that match against Kolkata, where Rajasthan lost the match, but he ended up scoring a half century. Now, and if you actually watch the highlights of that match, he was middling every single ball. So it's not like it was an edge and a four, or just a flick, or he's just powering through the ball. It's not like that. He was really timing it really well. And I feel what KKR had done with Sunil Narine, moving him up and down the order, I feel Rajasthan can take that risk with Tom Curran, because he's a confident youngster and he really knows his game, and he's very confident of himself. So I feel that he can be switched up and down the order as and when required. If you want to boost the score a little bit, then you can send him in before you send the other batsmen. And well, what to talk about Tewatia? We all have seen what he can do. He really gave Sheldon Cottrell a run for his money that day. He scored 30 runs in that one over. For a second there, I almost thought he's going to hit 6 sixes. But well, one less is no less. So Sanju Samson, obviously, he is the best one-down batsman for Rajasthan right now. And getting Andre Tai and Kartik Tyagi, I feel that has really strengthened the bowling attack for them as well, because Kartik Tyagi led the way for India in the Under-19 World Cup. He's a tall guy and he bowls he can swing the ball both ways as well. So that is really good to see. And Andrew Tye, obviously, he's going to provide all the experience that you need in the team, and no doubt about how fast he can bowl. So I feel, okay, so my prediction for today's match is that I feel the Rajasthan Royals are going to take it home, and because of one major player. And my pick for today for Rajasthan, the player that I have my money riding on, is Jofra Archer. Now we all know he comes in and he bowls at 140, 150, and it's consistent throughout all his deliveries in the over. He can do some real damage, and if Hyderabad lose a couple of wickets quickly, it'll be a little difficult for them to rebuild the innings from there again. So I think today's battle is more of Rashid Khan versus Jofra Archer. So let's see how this battle goes, and all the best to the SRH fans, all the best to the Rajasthan fans. I will be back in the evening with the match review for Mumbai Indians versus Delhi Capitals. Till then, let's enjoy this match. Cheers.